Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Elise here of Plan with Elise, and today we have custom spreads for my Patreon members. I don't know yet if this video is going to be 1 or 2 spreads. It depends on the length of the video, but this first spread is going to be for Xandria, and Xandria had a really cool idea. I actually have 3 pages here that I'm going to be using. This is going to be a bit more involved. She wanted something that's going to help her map out things she can do when she has an extra 5, 10, 15, and 30 minutes in the day. Now, I think that it's a really good idea because how often do we spend 5 minutes scrolling on social media or 15 minutes, I don't know, scrolling on social media? Sometimes you just have a little bit of time, and when you want to make that time productive, having a place in your planner as a reminder of what you can do in that time is really helpful. So here's what we are going to do. The request was to use blue and mustard stickers and some florals. So I have these beautiful blue florals from Keleva Plans Roy G. Biv Volume 5. And then I had pulled this sticker book out. Oh yes, we have Live, Love, Posh, Functionally Chic Yellow Blooms. I don't know that these qualify as mustard. Now that I'm looking at them, I feel like they're a little bit more yellow than mustard. So I've pulled out all of my sticker books that have like obvious yellow florals. And I say obvious yellow because I'm sure that there's yellow in some other sticker book somewhere that I can't quite think of. I'm actually kicking myself because recently I feel like I saw a blue and yellow combination and I can't remember what it was from. So really the best is Roy G. Biv Volume 2 because I think that this yellow would be absolutely perfect. The problem is I don't really have many stickers left. I've got these little ones and I have this. I do think that these are the closest to a mustard versus these other ones. So I have to decide, am I willing to go a little bit more yellow than what was requested, like pale yellow, or do I try to make do with just these? I feel like there's not enough here, so I'm gonna put that aside. And then my decision comes, Roy G. Biv Boxes and Florals Volume 3. These are very big. I feel like these two are going to work together the best. And I hope that it's okay that they are not perfectly mustard. But I think that the types of florals, they're just going to look the prettiest together. So here's what we are going to do. Let's take this big blue one right here. And of course, I will link everything that I'm using in the description. This note paper is my favorite note paper to use. It's from Happy Planner's Happy Plans and Notes collection, which I think is all sold out. I don't think it's still available, but it's my absolute favorite because it's really plain. I like the lines on the spine. And this is usually what I reach for when I'm trying to just get like neutral pages for my planner. But there are other options out there. This is just kind of my go-to. Okay, so now we have the blue and the yellow, or we have the blue. We are going to continue with the yellow. So what I can do over here is take this corner sticker and we're going to layer a little bit just so that it kind of looks like they blend into each other, and get this right on the spine. I don't want to cover up too much of the page itself because we need it for the actual planning part of this. But I think this is going to work out nicely. And then this one, I'm going to shift over just a little bit. Again, giving them a little space to layer, like overlap a tiny bit. But now, of course, we need my scissors because this is too much. I had purchased an under the desk like drawer. It would like stick to the bottom of my desk. I already have one, and I had purchased a second one, and I can't get the second one to stick. And it's making me crazy because I really needed that extra space, and we've got to figure things out. So now that we have that part of the spine done, let's repunch. And this is a We Are Memory Keepers punch. And we're gonna pop these out here. The other thought I had is the new Brilliant Bloom sticker book by Hell of a Plan that released with the 2025 planner collection. That has a really pretty blue, but it's more of like an orange, like this color on my scissor, than yellow. So I felt like that wasn't quite going to work with the blue and mustard request. Okay, now we are just going to continue here with this floral. We're covering up a lot of the page, so hopefully I can make do with this. I think we'll be okay. When putting a big sticker like this down, it's always better to try to line the whole thing up against the edge of the page versus what I did at first there. Okay, then we need another blue. So I think we're going to take one of these. Actually, maybe this is the time to pull out these smaller ones, so we're not just filling this whole page with florals. These blue florals are so pretty though. I'm just kind of adding it right down here. And then we need one more for the other side of the page. And I still have to deal with the extra page that I pulled out, but we're gonna get there. One thing at a time. Anytime I make a mistake at my full-time job, it's usually because I'm moving too quickly and I'm trying to do too many things at once. So we will get there. Okay, I think we may be good on florals. There's a lot going on here. So I think that this looks really pretty. And I also kind of like how we have like this openness that's not perfectly mirrored. I feel like it's kind of a different look. Now, I have Mojo Jojo Functional Boxes Series 1. And what we're going to do here is pull out, it's not a great blue for this, but there we go. I knew that there would be blues that coordinated here. We're gonna pull out blues, and then I need yellows. So this is volume 1. This isn't going to have the header size stickers because this is something new that Hell of a Plan has included in sticker books. But I think that the pale yellow, from Mojo Jojo Plans might work here, or we can use the brighter yellow. I think we'll go for the pale yellow. So what I want to do here is take, I think we'll do a yellow sticker here. Nope, I need to move that. And the reason I need to move it is because it's going to hit this sticker if this is listed. I'm gonna lift this up, try to space this better. This should be good. And then this one will go here. Now let's take one more out, and then we need that other blue one. And I feel like I don't know how I feel about these not all being up at the top of the page. I think that it's okay because we're just doing something a little bit different here, but I'm a little stressed about it. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like we have about the same amount of space because of what's covered, but I don't know if it not being perfectly symmetrical is okay. It's always a little bit tougher to make a decision like that when I'm creating for someone else versus myself. I think that this is a unique look, and I'd like to stick with it the way it is. So we're going to label these 5 min, 10 min. Now, in transparency, Xandria had said to do 7 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and a list of things to declutter, unless I had a different idea, to have 4 even columns. And I do have a different idea. And my different idea is an extra page. So we are going to keep these pages set on time slots because we're going to use the extra page for declutter. And there's a reason for that. The time slots, if I were to think, okay, let me give you some examples, right? If I have an extra 5 minutes in my day, what can I do with it? I can fill up my water filter. I'm going to go over here, right? I can fill up my water filter. I can take something that's drying in my dish rack in my sink and put it away. I can, oh, I'm getting a little bit on the side over here. I can take a photo of a planner spread that is going to go up. I can answer YouTube comments. What can I do in 10 minutes? I can fold laundry. I can mop the floor, sweep and mop the floors 10, 15 minutes in one room in my house. I can clean my powder room. I have 2.5 baths in my house, and it does not take a long time to clean the powder room. So things like that, when you're considering what can be done in the day, are really helpful. I'm hesitating here because I realize that this has so much more space than this does, and I didn't really think about that when I was putting these down. And I need to figure out how to solve it. One way, no, it's not going to change it. I have to move the bullets over. Okay, but I can't really just move the bullets over. What I do know is that on this side, we have to move this box. I still think it has to go over more. That'll be about even. The 10 minutes is the problem. So there's a couple of ways that I can solve this. One of the options is that I can cut a piece of this paper off and cover here. I do think that it's not the cleanest option. So when I'm considering that this is a page I'm giving to someone else, I don't know that that's what I want my choice to be. So I think that we're going to need to take these stickers off. I'm almost glad that I said I wasn't sure if we would do 2 videos or 2 spreads in this video, because I don't feel like as rushed as sometimes I do. So we're going to use undo. I tend to struggle with undo on clear stickers, but because we're using undo and I'm pulling these stickers up and redoing this anyway, I'm going to go with revamping the placement of these stickers so that our boxes are even. Because if I'm going to make this change, I may as well, you probably just already realized what I realized with the punch. I think it's okay because we can just place this a little bit higher. I think that it'll be better to have our boxes be even. So we're going to put that down now. Let's pull up the blue. And sometimes these things happen. I don't know that I've made a mistake that big in a while in a video, but it has been one of these weeks. This is being filmed the same week as a lot of big planner launches. Oh wait, but this is the corner sticker. Okay, this isn't working. What is not working here? I think that this has to flip. Sometimes this feels like a puzzle. All right, so we're putting this blue sticker down. Lift this up. I'm keeping the camera on right now for this part, by the way, because I want to show you the problems that I'm experiencing and how I'm solving them. So let's think about this for a second. If I put this blue right here, I feel like these pages are really going to be mirrored. I don't know how I feel about them being mirrored. My other option is to put this down here, but then I would need a wider yellow sticker to go across the top, and it would, or I could do yellow and then blue again. I really just have to make a decision about whether I want this to be fully mirrored or not. I think we're going to go for the full mirroring. I think that because I know it works on one side, it's going to be the path of hopefully less mistakes doing it this way. And it's actually okay here. Oh no, we hit the corner again. We gotta do it this way. Thank goodness for undo. I'm sorry to those of you who live in areas that you can't purchase it. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I just am, because I try to not use it, but there are times that I absolutely have to. If I didn't have it, I would probably have ripped the stickers, and then I would have had to find new replacement ones to use. Okay, I can't do a full mirror because then I need to do blue down here. So let's see if we can pull this off without ripping. All right, well, that worked pretty nicely. It doesn't usually happen that way. One way that you can also remove the stickiness before you put them on the page is by putting your sticker on wax paper. That'll help remove a little bit of the stickiness. That came off so easily. The page and the stickers both knew that I needed a win after that mistake. But you can put your stickers on wax paper and that'll help. I do realize though that this now has some of the bullet points. So we're gonna take my scissor and just cut them off. It's just the clear part. A tiny little bit one there. So it doesn't really matter because I'm not cutting any of the floral. Okay. Whew. Perfect. Now, let's go back to our boxes. And we're going to put this one, let's get these on the same line here. And this one is going to go here. All right, I think I need a ruler here because I can't quite visualize whether this is working or not. So if I put bullet points a little bit to the left, I'll have about 2.5 inches. Let's say 2.25 inches, so we still have some space there. Over here, we'd still have about 2.25 inches. So that was actually done pretty well. On this side, I want 2.25, and then if I want 2.25 again, this will just need to go a tiny bit to the right. But I think we got it. So let's go back to the bullet points. What I should actually do here is use my ruler so that I'm not making a crooked line with them, as I often do. And I think that when I figured out this problem, we were talking about what I can do. If I have 30 minutes, I can film a shorter YouTube video. Back to what I do with these time slots. I could film a shorter YouTube video. I can probably declutter a drawer in my home. I can exercise. Well, it depends. If I have 30 minutes, I could do a short exercise and shower. It just depends on where, I am in the day. So it's helpful to be able to kind of map out the different things that we think we can do in a certain period of time. If I have 15 minutes, I can go through and answer emails. And it really just depends. But I try to live my life very much in the what can I do in the time I have. And a perfect example of that is my YouTube channel. If it's a morning when I'm filming before I start my workday at 9, Sometimes I finish a video, like this morning, I think I finished the video at 8:47. So I had 13 minutes to figure out how I was going to spend my time. And I took a couple of photos. I created thumbnails for the videos, and I took a peek at my planner to see what else was going to be on the list. I also took a note sheet. Actually, I'll show you in a minute what I took. And I listed out everything in my head. I did just a full brain dump of everything in my head so that I could decide what was going to be done what day this week, and I found it really helpful. Okay, this is really pretty. I know that it took a little while to get here, but I think this is really pretty. Now, let's pull out a sheet over here. This is the sheet that I pulled out that I used this morning. Not this exact one, of course. This doesn't have any writing on it, but this is what I pulled. Let's put this top back on. The reason that I wanted to include a third page here, even though that's not something I normally do with these custom spreads, is I felt like things that go on the 5, 10, 15, and 30-minute list aren't going to change that often. They're usually going to be the same types of things. However, the things that'll go in the decluttering list will change unless you declutter. Are these the right florals? Yes. Unless you declutter, like my office, for example, I'd probably do every couple of months. So unless you declutter the same thing over and over again, it's not going to be repetitive. And so I wanted this page to be really more of a running declutter list and not something that once Xandria decluttered everything that was on this page, then that column would be useless to her. This way she has this whole set and then another whole set on the back to kind of work as a running list and can choose from. So I'm going to cover up this Did It, and we're going to get another blue sticker. I have this cut in half because I want to use the other half of it. I'm not going to go heavy on the decorating for this page. I really just want it to coordinate, but I don't want to over decorate. And then we'll take this other yellow. And then we need a blue. I'm going to go a little bit bigger for the blue for the corner, and I want to make sure that it's a brighter part of the blue that'll kind of cover up this correction tape section. Like that, because you can't see it underneath now. Okay, now I'm going to cover up so much to do. I think that oftentimes when we're talking about cleaning or decluttering or checking something off our list, we usually, or I can speak for myself, I usually think something will take longer than it's going to take. I recently cleaned out my closet and it took, I'll say, just over an hour. And maybe that means that my closet wasn't too bad, but my closet also, there's a lot going on in my closet and really needed a good clean out, and I was able to get rid of almost 3 bags of clothes. And so I feel like I delayed doing that for so long because I thought it was going to take forever, but a really good dedicated hour without interruption definitely helped me achieve that. And I had been procrastinating it for so long. I'm going backwards here because I want to see how much space I have. So first we need to spell out declutter, CLULC. And this is Alpha Basics Volume 2 by Caliber Plan. And we need D and E. Okay, now I had pulled out the T and the O. I don't know that I'm going to have room. We can make it work because the T can sit like right over here. I just wanted to make sure that we'd have enough space between the words. To declutter. Very simple. These pages are really simple. They were a little bit more complicated because of the mistakes that I made, but wait, did I cut these? No, I didn't cut these, but I do think overall they're going to be really functional, and it may even be something that I create for my own planner. Okay, so I looked at the length of the first part of the video and how much time I had left in my video filming slot and decided that I would be able to do another spread, and it's going to be more of like just a regular planning spread. So my Patreon members can request almost whatever they want. And sometimes it's like an organization page, like what we just made for Xandria, and sometimes it's a regular planning spread. I do try to combine them in videos of like just the planning spreads or just the organization pages, because maybe you want to see one or the other. But I also think that showing both within one video is really helpful, because maybe you do want one or the other. And in that case, you know, you either watch the half of it you want or you watch the whole thing. So this next spread is for Darla, and Darla requested a cozy autumn spread with traditional fall colors and some leaves falling. And I pulled out all of my fall sticker books and I settled on Fall Elements by Live Love Posh, because I saw these stickers and I felt like some of these that are football themed I'm not going to use, but I thought that these leaves were really pretty. And there's also books in here that I really like, and it makes me feel like this is the perfect spread for Darla, because Darla, like myself, is a book lover. So we are going to go with something really like soft here. And this is an undated horizontal. So this is the older Happy Planner horizontal version. Their current horizontal version does have checklists. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that, because today is actually launch day and I've been seeing a lot of feedback from people who are not happy with the change. I personally really like the change, but I'm not someone who uses a horizontal regularly and my own planning. For someone like Darla, who I'm making this spread for, who uses her horizontal for journaling, like I don't know how that new change is going to work unless the right side always gets covered up. So I'm curious what your thoughts are, if you know this is a change you like, if it's a change that you wish hadn't happened, and you know what that looks like for you. So I want to bring in a box. I feel like I always do a Wednesday box for Darla because of her book club on Wednesdays, but how cute would it be to do this box right here? And then I want to trim off the white here, or I don't want to fully trim it. I just want to make it more square than rounded so that she can sit on this box. Like how cute would it be to write book club there and then she's sitting on the box? I love how that looks. Okay, now what I do have to remember is that Darla wants leaves falling. So we've got to have some falling leaves here. Otherwise, I am not fulfilling the request. So we have some leaves. There aren't a ton of leaves in this set of stickers, but I do think that we have enough to work with here. I just want to make sure that I'm still giving plenty of space to be able to actually use the spread. I haven't heard feedback from Darla otherwise, and I've been making these, that one's a little bit too big, I think. I've been making these journaling spreads for her for a while now. So I think that we're doing a pretty good job. This one is really big. I want to use it. I just can't use it there. So this one we're going to kind of put here. This one will go over here. And then what else can we put down? We do have the book stack, but I don't want to only use that because I already have a book here. So I don't want to use just that yet. This would be really pretty to use as a box in this. What if we put this right over here? I think we have to, I put it down crooked, but I also want to put it lower so it doesn't overlap on that gray box. I do find that paper stickers tear a little bit more easily than clear ones when you're trying to rip them up, but I feel like this one I can pull. So we need to get this set right. Okay. Perfect. Now, this planner I really wanted to include, and I think we're going to put it right here. I don't know that it does anything. I almost feel like it takes away, and that's definitely not what I want. So let's take another box of this color, and we're going to put it right over here. And then let's layer something on top of it. I want to bring in pumpkins, but I'm also hesitant to bring in pumpkins because I feel like maybe it's too early. I don't know. I think that this is just really pretty. I hope that I'm fulfilling the traditional fall colors request because part of me feels like maybe these aren't that traditional, but I think that they're okay. All right, now we need another falling leaf. So maybe that's what I layer over the box. Okay, let's keep that as is, the left side for now anyway. And then I want to create another like floral element over here. So I think we're going to do it down this side. And let's pull this up. And punch before I forget. I'm always worried that I'm not going to remember to punch these. I feel like one time I mailed a spread out and I didn't punch it. Okay, now I definitely want to include the book stack, but I also need more falling leaves. So I said from the start, I really wanted to use this one. So we're going to go a little bit higher so that this can maybe come down this way. And then I can sort of decorate around the falling leaves. So we have those two. Let's see. Uh-oh, am I out of leaves? I hope not. I tried to be mindful about how many I was using. I don't have that many left. I have 1, 2, 3 left. And another one is the big one. We can make this work. 3, 4. Maybe we don't use the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That's why. It's because of that extra one that I put over there. So we're going to figure out a spot for this. I definitely want to include the book stack. So I don't know where I want to put it yet. I think maybe here would be pretty. But I didn't want it to hit that leaf. Okay, I'm not ready for the book stack yet because I was remembering that we also have some other leaf colors. They're not from this set necessarily, but I think that they're a good match. So what I'd like to do is probably anger future release because I'm taking stickers away from a future spread, but that's okay. We're going to take this one. Now that I have it on that side, I can use it down here as well. And then it doesn't feel like those two are the exact same. I mean, they are the same, but at least there's something that separates them. So I think that that's really helpful. And then we'll trim here. Okay, now going back to boxes. We also don't have any fall quotes in here, so I probably want to bring in something like that. But I really like to put a box over here. So I think we're going to put this down on Sunday, because Sunday is always a good day to like list a lot in your journal. And then we're going to put our stack of books right here. So I really liked the book stack. Now let's look for fall quote. There's a lot of good options here. I think that Welcome Fall could be really pretty. Just don't want to rip it. I feel like this is really nice, especially with the leaves that are coming down. And then maybe one more quote right here to fill in this space. Let's see. We have just about this amount of space. I'll use that as a measuring tool. I like Happy Fall, y'all, but I think we have to cut off the extra here. So we're just gonna trim off this little leafy thing. Okay. Now, Darla, if you are watching this video and you are worried that I won't be able to continue doing horizontal spreads like this because of the new checklist, don't you worry, because I bought undated horizontals before lunch. I tend to purchase, we're going to put this down here because we have it. Because I do custom planner spreads for my Patreon members, and I also do demo spreads most times that there is a product launch, I purchase extras of planners that I keep in my closet so that I have the opportunity to have the extra planners. Plus, I mean, I am sent a decent amount, but I also do, I've purchased a lot of planners that sit waiting for me to use. Okay, I think we need to go for something that has kind of like maybe a brown color here. So I have some dated sticker books. I don't think this is going to work. Let's look at Dated Basics Volume 2. This is more rainbow. Maybe one of these colors will work. I was looking at this, but obviously I used this color, so I can't do that. This one I think could be pretty. Because it looks, no, it's a little bit too orange. This one, could this work? I'm worried that this would take up too much space, but I actually think it's kind of a cool, different look. So we're gonna do it. We first need to find, I was going to use a white pen, but I can actually just use correction tape here. I did not use any washi in this spread. I think that the addition of the falling leaves definitely added more decor. So I didn't really feel like I needed to have washi. And I think that these fun day of the week stickers also add a little something to make it look different than just every other planning spread. I don't know that using the correction tape is 100% necessary here, but this way you don't see anything through it. So let's do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, I think it's finished. Whoops, we are about to have a sticker book avalanche. Okay, I really like how this came out. I think that I went a little bit different than Darla's request of traditional fall colors, but I also feel like these are really pretty fall colors, and hopefully she's okay with it because I really love the results here. I love how both of these came out. I mean, look at how different both of these planner pages, we'll call them, right? Because they're not all spreads. Both of these came out. Hopefully Xandria and Darla both love these and find a good use for them. And I'm excited to send them to live in their happy homes. So I'll link everything I used in the description. Thank you so much for watching, for your support, for hanging out with me as always, and I will see you next time.